ACS Junior Prelim paper for 2025. This is paper 2. Question 1. Samad saves $2.50 every day. For every $15 saved, his father will give him an additional $3. So how much money will he save in 50 days? Okay, so in 50 days, if he's going to save $2.50 every day, right, how much would he have saved? So that would be 50 times 250, which is $125. Okay, that's just saved by him alone. But every $15 that he saved, his father will give him an extra $3. So we need to find how many groups of the $3 is he getting. So we take $125 divide by 15. So if you use a calculator, you get 8 point something, but find your answer with remainder. So 8, the whole number is 8. 8 times 15, you get 120. So there is a remainder of $5. This means that there are 8 groups of the $3 that his father will be giving him. So from his father, it will be 8 times $3, which is 24. So he's getting this extra $24. So total amount of money that he will get is 125 plus 24. So 149 is the answer. Question 2. Eric gives 1/4 of his income to his parents. When his income increased by 20%, his parents received $240 more. So what is his income before the increase? Now, if he's going to give 1/4 to his parents, and if his total income increased by 20%, then what his parents would receive is actually 20% more. So since the parents receive $240 more, that is actually 20% of the parents' share. Okay, that's the extra that the parents will receive, which is the 20% increment, the increase of 20%. So if you want to find how much the parents receive before the increase, then that will be 100%. Okay, so if you want to find 100% of parents' share, we would times 5 to that. And this will give us $1,200. Okay, and we also know that he gives 1/4 of that to the parents. So that is actually 1/4 of his money. So his total amount of money, we will times 4. So this is the income that he has before the increase. Question 3, in the figure, PQRS is a rectangle, and then you have a rhombus here. This is 122 degrees. 256 is this reflex angle here, and we need to find angle QRT. Okay, so QRT is over here. So to find QRT, I will take 360 minus 256 and minus this angle. Okay, so what I need to know is this angle, since I already know this is the 256. So firstly, use 360 minus 256 first. Let's find VRT. Sorry, if you take 360 minus 256, you get VRS, not VRT. VRS. So this will give us 104 degrees. Okay, so to find this angle, we also need to minus this. Okay, so VRQ, this small angle here, is actually VRS, this whole thing, minus away 90. This is a right angle because it's an angle in a rectangle. Okay, so VRQ is 104 minus 90 degrees, which is 14. So this angle here is 14 degrees. So to find this angle here, now this is a rhombus, so you have parallel lines. Okay, angles between parallel lines add up to 180. So I can take 180 minus 122 and 14. Angle QRT is 180 minus 122 and 14. Okay, so answer 44 degrees. Question 4, the average of four different two-digit numbers is 92. Of the four numbers, find the smallest possible number. Okay, so firstly, the average of four numbers is 92. We can find the total by taking the average times 4. So we have 368. Remember, the four numbers are all different. So if you want to find the smallest possible, you minus off the three biggest possible number. So the three biggest possible number will be 99, 98, and 97. So 368 minus 99, 98, 97. Minus them off, you will get 74. So the smallest possible number is 74. Question 5, solid below is made up of 8 cubes. Draw the front view of the solid on the grid. Okay, front view is from this angle here. So there are two squares on the left. So I start off with two squares. Use a ruler for this. Then the next to the two squares, you have this one here, and then above it, another one. So another two. Then lastly, there is one in the first row. Okay, so this is what you should have. For part B, what is the maximum number of cubes that can be added without changing the front and side view? So this is the front view. From the side view, you're not supposed to change it also, okay? So maybe I'll just highlight to show you where is the side view. From the side view, you should be able to see these. Okay, so the red one is the front view, the yellow one is the side view. How many cubes can you add? So from the front view, you can add more cubes behind. Okay, so two below on the first. Okay, let's go row layer by layer. In the first layer, you can add two more behind. Okay, then here you can add two as well. So also check for the side view. Two below, two here, so that's four. Then here you can add also two more, that's six. So first layer you can add six. Second layer, you cannot add here, it will change the side view. You can add here, it will not affect the side view. Okay, so six in the first, so that's seven. Here you cannot add, it will block the side view. Here above this one, you cannot add because you will change the front view. Okay, then No more here, you cannot add any more here. But over here, you cannot add here, but you can add the one behind, next to this. Okay, so that's 8. So total 8. So 6 in the first layer, 2 on the second layer. Question 6, pie chart shows how Isabel spent her money. So the amount of money she spent on transport is 2/5 the amount spent on food. What is the percentage spent on food? Okay, so if we have 2/5 here, right, 2 is referring to the transport and then 5 is referring to the food, the number of units. So transport is 24%, so 2 units is 24%. You want to find food, that's 5 units. So 1 unit, we divide by 2, which is 12%. Then 5 units is 12% times 5. Okay, so 60%. Okay, the amount of money Isabel saved is 25% of the amount she spent on transport. So Isabel saved $90. How much did she spend in total? So 25% of the amount she spent on transport, transport is 24%. So 25% of 24%, if that confuses you, you can change this to a fraction. So like 1/4 of 24%. That's the amount saved. So 1/4 of 24% is 6%. Now that 6% is $90. Okay, because she saved, they say that she saved 90. How much did she spend in total? Take note, the amount spent is not 100%, but you have to take away the savings. Okay, she spent on transport, clothes, and food. So you can find 100% first. So 1%, then 100%, then we minus the savings. So 90 divided by 6, $15. Then 100% you times 100. So $1,500. The amount spent is 1,500 minus the savings, which is 90. You get 1,410. Okay, so that's the amount that she spent. Question 7, a rectangular tank measuring 80 by 60 by 50 was 2/3 filled with water. Tab A can fill the empty tank in 8 minutes. How long did it take to fill the tank completely? Okay, so to fill this tank, the whole tank, it will take 8 minutes, okay, because it's an empty tank. So the whole tank will take 8 minutes. So if you want to find how much is needed to fill it up, right? This is already 2/3 filled. Okay, so the full tank will take 8 minutes. So what are you trying to fill? You want to fill only 1/3. Okay, so the time taken is actually just 1/3 of this 8 minutes. So if you want to fill 1/3 of the tank, okay, so this will just be divided by 3. So 8 minutes divided by 3, which is 8/3. So 2 and 2/3 minutes. Okay, so this is the answer. You can also leave it as minute seconds. It's not specified if they want it in just minutes or minutes and seconds. So if you want to convert it to minutes and seconds, you should get 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, so actually the information given, the dimensions not really needed lah, because you're only finding a fraction of 8 minutes. You're just finding a time taken. No need to find the volume. Okay, question 8. Frank's mass is 1 kg. His mass is 1/3 of Gideon's mass. Henry is 4 kg lighter than Gideon. What is the total mass of the three boys in terms of Y? Okay, so Frank is Y. Gideon is, so Frank is 1/3 of Gideon, so Gideon is 3 times, that's 3Y. How about Henry? Henry is lighter, so minus, so 3Y minus 4. What is the total? Add them up, 3Y, y plus 3Y plus 3Y minus 4. So you get 7Y minus 4. Okay, so answer 7Y minus 4. There's units here, so bracket the whole thing, kg. If Frank's mass is 28 kg, Frank is Y, so basically they're saying if Y is 28, what is the difference between Frank and Henry's mass? Okay, Frank is 28, what's Henry? You can find the actual values, then you find a difference, or you can use the algebra here first. So Frank is lighter than Henry, so you just take Henry minus Frank. That will give us 2Y minus 4. So if Frank's mass is Y, so Y is 28. So 2Y minus 4 is 2 times 28 minus 4. Okay, so this will give us 52. So answer 52 kg. Okay, question number 9. ABC is a triangle. It's supposed to measure angle ACB. ACB, okay, I can't use the protractor here now, but you should measure and you should get 36 degrees. Okay, so ACB is 36 degrees. BC forms one side of trapezium BCDE. BC is parallel to DE, so BC. You have to go in order in sequence. B, C, and then D somewhere, and then E somewhere. So BC is parallel to DE, and AB goes to BE. DE is twice as long as BC. Complete the drawing of trapezium BCDE. Okay, so firstly, we know the parallel lines will be, this is one of the parallel lines in the trapezium. Okay, then BC is parallel to DE. Yeah. So BC is one of the parallel lines. AB goes to BE. AB is here. So BCDE. So E will have to be the same length as AB. Okay, so if I just roughly sketch it out, BC is here, right? Then I don't know how long is D and E, but if it's maybe something like that. So it has to go in order, like B, C, D, and then E. Okay, then DE is twice of BC. So, okay. So firstly, let's do BE. AB equals to BE. If AB is this length, okay, see that AB actually cuts across A to B cuts across 6 squares. Okay, so B to E must also cut across 6 squares. So we can do this. Okay, again, use your ruler. I can't use my ruler here. Like that. Okay, cuts across these 6 squares. So this will be point E. And next we have DE is twice as long as BC. So DE is the parallel line of BC. So if this is BC, DE have to be twice as long. Okay, twice as long. So if we look at BC, you can see that it cuts across here like that. 2, cuts across another 2. Okay, so when I draw, I will do this. It cuts across 2 squares. Okay, and then 2 squares. That is equivalent to BC. Then I'll cut across another 2 squares and another 2 squares. Okay, so that's twice as long. So this will be D. Then check if you fulfill everything. BC parallel to DE, okay. AB equals to BE, okay. DE is twice of BC, okay. So then that's done. Then you connect this. Okay, you have parallel lines, equal lines. So this is your answer for part B. Now the other possible answer will be uh, just the one in blue. If you want equal to AB equal to BC, sorry, BE, then you can cut across, yeah, use dotted lines. Cut this way. Okay, this and this, they are supposed to be equal, right? So it can also be like that. Then twice as long, you cut across 2 squares, cut across 2 squares, cut across 2 squares, and cut across 2 squares. So it will be here. Then you connect this. This is another answer for the drawing. Okay, 2 possible answers. The one in red and the one in blue. You just need to do one. Okay, question 10. A shop offered 100. Okay, part C of this question cannot be done because the lines are not really shown. It needs to be shown in order to read the values. Okay, there are certain values that you need, like in, for example, day 2, you need the value there in order to solve part C. So because the lines are not given, you can't tell the exact value. So part C is not possible to do because of the lines. Okay, so this question, take note. But A and B can still be done. I'll just show you what to do if the lines are being drawn. Okay, so part A, on which day did the most number of t-shirts sold? So this graph shows you the number of t-shirts that's left unsold. This is during the 7-day sale. Okay, this is during this sale, right? There is a 20% discount. Okay, so this is basically what's unsold at the end of each day. And yes, it should be decreasing because the more you sell, the less you have. Okay, so which day was the most number of t-shirts sold is actually the one with the greatest drop. Right, the greatest drop would show that most were being sold. So if you compare the lines, right, the one with the steepest one is this one. Okay, the greatest drop is over here. Then so is this day 3 or is it day 4? If you read the question, this is left unsold at the end of each day. So at this point here, this is end of day 4. So end of day 4, this is end of day 3, which means that this is the start of day 4 basically. So start of day 4, end of day 4. So day 4 is where the most number of t-shirts were being sold. So part B, what percentage of 120, we started with 120, right? What percentage of these t-shirts were sold in the first 5 days of the sale? So in the first 5 days means by the end of day 5. Okay, so this is a 20. So the number of shirts that is being sold would be 120 minus what's left at the end of day 5. So in the 5 days, 100 t-shirts were sold. What percentage? is that. So 100 out of 120, if you want to change to percentage, you times 100%. Okay, so when you key in the calculator, you should get like 83.33 and so on. You round it to the nearest percent, so 83%. Now for part C, the shop collected $192 on day 3 of the sale. So what is the price of each t-shirt before the discount? Okay, on day 3, so on day 3 means that you're looking at end of day 2 to the end of day 3. Okay, so day 3 of the sale means you're comparing this versus this from this point to this point. Day 3, I can easily tell this is 60, but it is this value that is not given. Okay, so assuming it cannot be done with this graph, okay, because you can't read it. But I'm just going to explain if there were lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, no. I'm just doing according to the answers that were provided. Okay, so this is, I just do in another color to show you that this answer you can't get from this graph. But assuming if they were to draw four intervals here, if there were 4 intervals, right, this would be a 76 because each interval is it wait, no. Oh, sorry, it should be 5 intervals. So 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if it's like that, every increase is plus 4. Then this would be 76. Again, I'm saying that assuming the lines are drawn, but you can't get 76 if the lines are not drawn. Okay, so I'm assuming that the lines are drawn. If this is 76, how will we solve this question? So day 3 from 76 to 60, there is a total of 16 shirts that were sold and the shop collected $192. So one shirt, 192 divided by 16. This is $12. But this is after discount, okay, which is 80%. So if 80% is $12, 1% would be 15 cents. Then the original price of one shirt, which is 100%, you times 100, you get $15. Okay, so answer is $15. So I'm writing it in blue because this cannot be solved due to the missing lines on the graph. Okay, so if you realize that, okay, 4 parts you can't solve, it's because there's missing lines in the graph. But I'm just showing you if there were lines, this is how you solve it. Question 11. Sorry, this is a speed question, so it's not tested in the new syllabus. So let's skip this. Question 12. In the figure, you have 5 squares, and then this rectangle, this is the leftover part of the paper that is shaded. Side of the square X measures 4 cm. Okay, so this is 4. This is 4. Now, if these two are both squares, right? So This would be the same as this, which is this. So what is the side of square y? That will be 4 divided by 2. 2 cm. So we're supposed to find for part B, the breadth of the leftover paper is 1.5 cm. Then they're asking what is the length of the rectangular piece of paper. So this whole thing here. Okay, so here, this part here is a 6. Because this is 6. So 4 plus 2 is 6. Then 6 plus 4 is a 10. So this is 10. Now, if this is 10, then this must be 10 as well, since it's a square. So the length of the rectangle is 10 plus 6 plus 1.5. So answer 17.5 cm. For part C, Paul cut out each of the 5 squares on the rectangular paper into 2 cm squares. He then used the 2 cm squares to form cubes. What is the greatest number of cubes Paul can make? Okay, this is already a 2 cm square. Means that in a square, each side is 2 cm. Okay, so you already have 2 of that. Now from X, okay, let's do the biggest one first. This is a 10 cm. How many can you cut here? So 10 divided by 2. Okay, so starting from the biggest one, 10 divided by 2 is a 5. So along this side, you can cut 5. So this whole thing will be 5 times 5. Okay, so you have 25 from the biggest one. Then this one here, it's a 6 cm side. How many can you get? So 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So here 3, right? So total here 3 times 3, 9 squares. Then lastly for this, 4 divided by 2 first, which is 2, then 2 times 2, total 4 squares. So we have 25 here, 9 here, 4 here, and then this and this with 2. So 25, 9, 4, and 2 gives us 40. 40 is the number of squares. He used those squares to form cubes. Every cube has 6 sides. So 40 divided by 6. Maximum you can get is a 6. There's a remainder of 4. So what's the greatest number of cubes he can make? So answer 6. Okay, you can't do anything with the remainder because to form a cube you need 6 sides. Question 13. So in this figure, ABCD here is a rhombus. Then ADEF, okay, this is a trapezium. Where AF is parallel to DE. Okay, then rhombus, important thing is they have equal sides. Okay, for this question for part A, there's actually missing information. You are required to know, so let's make a note here. Missing info you need to know that BH is actually equals to BA in order to solve the question. Okay, so I think there are markings probably missing on the diagram. These two should have been equal. So this one can't be solved if you don't have that information. Okay, so assuming the markings are being made, let's see how we can solve this question to find x, angle x. So firstly, let's find angle DBA, this angle here. Okay, so 108 is here, so this is also 108 because opposite angles in a rhombus will be equal. Okay, so I want to find this angle here because with this angle, I can find this, and then I have isosceles triangle, I can find x. Okay, so to find this here, you have this isosceles triangle. This is 108. So 108, 180 minus 108 divide by 2. That is to find angle DBA. So that will give us 36 degrees. Okay, then we find this angle here, angle ABH. Which is 180 minus 36. 144 degrees. Now we find angle x using 180 minus 144, then divide by 2, because it's an isosceles triangle with the information that is missing, okay, which are these two lines. So again, A cannot be solved if you do not know that BH is equals to BA. Now for part B, find angle Y. Angle Y is over here. Okay, so we know that you have parallel lines because of the rhombus, right? This, and so I should double line it. I mean, double arrow it. Now I'm looking at this line, these two parallel lines. Okay, what I want to do is to find angle Y. Angle Y and this angle here will add up to 180 because they are angles between a pair of parallel lines, AF and ED. Okay, AF and DE, these two angles add up to 180. So if I know this, I can find Y. Okay, so this angle over here is actually, you see a Z, alternate angles. So this angle here is actually 33. Okay, so AFE would be 33 plus 21. Angle Y is 180 minus that. Okay, so I'm just going to take 180 minus 33 and 21. So answer 126 degrees. Okay, so 180 minus 33 and 21. Question 14. There were almond and chocolate cookies in a container. Mrs. Tan took out 35 almond cookies and 60% of the chocolate cookies. After that, the ratio of the number of almond cookies to the number of chocolate cookies in the container was 2 to 5. So what fraction of chocolate cookies did Mrs. Tan take out from the container? Give your answer in the simplest form. So here, take note that Mrs. Tan took out 60%. Okay, took out 60% of the chocolate cookies. We are only focusing on the chocolate cookies that she took out. Okay, what fraction did she take out? She took out 60%, so 60%, we just need to change it to fractions. Okay, so 60% is actually 3 over 5. Then this is the answer for part A. Part B, Mrs. Tan had 154 more chocolate cookies than almond cookies at first. How many almond and chocolate cookies were left in the end? Okay, so I'm going to show you using a model. So I know that the chocolate cookies that she took out is 3/5, right? So for chocolate cookies, I will draw 5 units at first. Then she took out 3/5. So whatever that is left, right? They said that number of almond cookies to chocolate cookies left is 2 to 5. So 2 to 5 means that the chocolate is supposed to be 5 units left. So over here, I have 2 units. How do I make it into 5? So what I can do is, okay, I write down the ratio first, 2 to 5. This is left. Now, this 2 units here, right, is actually supposed to be the same as this. Okay, the cookies left. So 2 and 5 common base is 10. I'll change this to 10. So I times 2. So to make it 10 units, I have this 5U, 5U. Okay, so 5U each. So for the number of almond cookies left, I'm supposed to have 4 units left according to this ratio here. Then above, they said that Mrs. Tan took out 35 almond cookies. So 4 units is left after taking out 35. I'm not sure how big that is, but I'll just draw a box here and I write here 35. Okay, also now if I compare what was there at first, right, for the chocolate cookies and the almond cookies, the difference is supposed to be 154 at first. So 154 is here. So how many units can we find? Okay, so the top part you have 25 units, right? This is 25 units. Okay, so 25 units versus 4 units is the difference, which is 35 plus 154. So this one, how many units? This is 25 units minus 4 units equals 21 units. Okay, so this is 21 units. So 21U is 35 plus 154, which is 189. So 1 unit is 189 divided by 21 equals to 9. we're looking for the total number of cookies left in the end. So in the end, it's this 10 units plus 4 units. Okay, so this 4 and the 10. So that's 14 units. So 14 times 9. 126. Question 15. Okay, so we have this figure that's made up of two overlapping quarter circles. Then OA, OB, OC, OD, they are all the radius, which is 10 cm. Okay, so this is 10 cm. Area of the shaded part is 30 square cm. And we also have the perimeter of the shaded part, which is 26 cm. Okay, so for part A, we're looking for area of OABCD, basically this whole figure. So let's find one quarter circle first. The area of the quadrant or quarter circle is a quarter times pi times the radius, which is a 10 times radius. Okay, use the correct formula. Pi times r gives you area of circle. Then this is 78.5. Since we're given area of the shaded part, if I want to find just this part here, I will take 78.5 minus 30, which is 48.5. So this part here is 48.5. This is also 48.5. So what you can do is to take 48.5 plus 30 plus 48.5. Or you can take this quadrant 78.5 plus 48.5. Which is 127, answer 127 square cm. Part B, you need to find the perimeter of this whole thing. Okay, so perimeter of, they said the perimeter of the shaded part is 26. So firstly, I'll take 26 minus away the straight lines, minus away 10, minus 10. So I want to find up BC. So BC is 26 minus 10 and 10, which is 6. So arc BC is 6 cm. Now let's find the arc of a quadrant. Okay, to find arc of a quadrant, I need to use the formula pi times diameter. So diameter is 10 times 2, which is 20. So the quadrant arc of a quadrant is 1/4 times pi times diameter, which is 15.7. Now arc AC is 15.7, BC is 6. So arc AB. So arc AB would be 15.7 minus 6. Okay, 15.7 minus 6 gives us 9.7. So we just take 9.7 plus 15.7, the arc of a quadrant, and the two straight lines. Okay, so 9.7 plus 15.7 plus 10 plus 10, which is 45.4. So answer 45.4 cm. Question 16, at a bookshop, erasers are sold only in packs of 8, and then you have pencils in packs of 5. Okay, Mr. Tan bought erasers and pencils for his company. He spent 1/3 of his money on erasers and the rest on pencils. He bought 36 more erasers than pencils. How much did he spend altogether? Okay, so if we are talking about the amount spent, he spent 1/3 on erasers, which means that he would have spent 2/3 on pencils. So erasers to pencils would be 1 to 2. Okay, this is the amount spent. Now, I know that the amount spent for erasers have to be a multiple of 2 because you can only get it in groups of 8 at $2 per group. So with that, I will try to make this into a multiple of 2, the erasers multiple of 2. So times 2. Okay, this is not the exact value, but at least I know that this is the units that represent the amount spent, and it has to be a multiple of 2. So I change it to a multiple of 2. For pencils, it has to be a multiple of 3. So over here is a 4. I will change it to a multiple of 3. So times 3. The proportion of the ratio must always be kept the same. So you also times 3 to the other side. Okay, so this is the lowest possible value that you can have, $6 and $12. So this is okay. This is the amount for one group. Okay, one group where you have $6 of erasers and $12 of pencils. So $6 of erasers and $12 of pencils. How many erasers, how many pencils is that? So $6 of erasers would be 3 groups. Okay, so 3 times 8 equals 24 erasers. $12 of pencils will be 4 groups. So 4 times 5, 20 pencils. So in one group, I have 24 erasers, which is $6, 20 pencils, which is $12. Okay, one group. That's the lowest I can have. Now, the question said that he bought 36 more erasers than pencils. Okay, so that is what we call the total difference. There is a difference of 36 items. Okay, not $36, 36 items. So in one group, what's the difference in the number of items? So in the difference in one group in the number of items will be 24 minus 20, which is 4. So if every group has a difference of 4, how many groups are there for a difference of 36? So 36 divided by 4 equals to 9 groups. How much did Mr. Tan spend altogether? In one group, we have 6 plus $12. Okay, so one group, $6 plus $12, which is $18. So 9 groups for the total amount spent would be 9 times 18. So total spend is $162. Last question, question 17. and filled some orange juice into large and small bottles. She filled 3/5 of the orange juice into 4 large and 3/4 of the remaining into 9 small. So part A, what fraction was filled into the 9 small? Okay, so we have 3/4 of the remaining. What fraction is that? So 3/4 times the remaining is 2/5 because she already used 3/5. So 3/4 of 2/5. Okay, then simplify. This is 3/10. So answer 3/10 of the total went into the 9 bottles. Okay, part B. After that, she wanted to fill 1 large with the leftover orange juice, but was short of 0.6 liters. Instead, she filled another one small and had 0.8 liters of orange juice left. How many liters of orange juice did Anne have at first? Okay, so this is a shortage surplus, and I'm going to use a model. So this is the amount left. There are two different scenarios. One is if she were to fill 1 large. The other one is if she were to fill 1 small. So I'll draw two models to represent two different scenarios. Okay, so this is the amount left. With the amount left, if she wants to fill 1 large, she needs another 0.6 liters. Okay, so this is 1 large. Then if she were to fill 1 small, right, she would have 0.8 left. So 0.8 liters left if she fills 1 small. So what we know is that the difference here, so the difference between 1 large and 1 small is 0.8 liters plus 0.6 liters, so 1.4 liters. Okay, now I know the difference between 1 large and 1 small, which is 1.4 liters, right? Uh, I want to find what is the fraction for 1 large, what is the fraction of the total orange juice, okay, that is used for 1 large, and then what is the fraction used for 1 small bottle. And I compare them to find the difference in fraction. So then I'll know that fraction is 1.4 liters. Okay, so for large, she filled 3/5 of the orange juice into 4 large. So if 4 large is going to use up 3/5, 3/5 of the total, then 1 large will be 3/5 divided by 4, which is 3/20 of the total. Now for the small, I know in part A that to fill 9 small, I will use up 3/10 of the total. So 9 small is 3/10 of the total. 1 small would be 3/10 divided by 9. And this will give us 1/30. Okay, now I compare. Okay, I compare 1 large versus 1 small. I know 1 large versus 1 small should gave me 1.4 liters. So the difference between these two fractions, this will give us 7 over 60. So 7 over 60 of the total, let's put T total, is 1.4 liters. 8 liters. Then 1 over 60 of the total, we divide by 7, which is 0.2 liters. How much did she have at first? So that's 60 out of 60 of the total. Then times 60. So that will give us 12 liters. Okay, so the amount that she had at first will be 12 liters. Okay, so that's the last question. That's all for ACS Junior Prelim Paper 2025, Paper 2.